can now hear the Wednesday sing. They might be going back to Wembley Way in the playoffs this time, that is. Championship playoffs. Dare we mention it? Dare we dream? That's the question on everyone's lips this week on Where the Owls Walk. Plus, we're talking about the brilliance of Beadle and who's the worst and the best team that Wednesday have played this season. But we're reviewing, of course, the Stoke game. And before we get into all of that, we want to wish all our fans and all our supporters a very happy Christmas. And thank you for all the comments and subscriptions that you've given us over the last so many months. August, that Plymouth 4-0 win feels so long ago. But thank you so much. And we hope you have a very enjoyable festive season. Let's jump into the Stoke game in a second, Glyn. But are we allowed to dream of the playoffs yet?
It's no. You can't even mention it, Mark. You can't even mention it. We listen. Ninth, would have snatched ninth out your hand at the beginning of the season, wouldn't we? On the back of how we finished and how we finished, the season before. So sat ninth, all to play for. Like I said the week before, I think if we blew the whistle on the season right now, and fans are disappointed at ninth, then you kind of need to wake up and smell the coffee a little bit. But listen, in Danny Rowe we trust, and we keep going, we keep pushing. I predicted eighth at the very beginning of the season, and anywhere around where we are, I'd be more than comfortable with. But yeah, why not? If we can sneak in and settle it on 2 games, then let's go. If it's there, then let's go to Wembley and have a day out and see what happens.
There must be a bit of you, Matt, that's dreaming that this could happen.
Mark, sadly, you've known me since February of last year. You will always know I'm looking at this until it's 18 points from safety. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's great that we are ninth. I think a lot of stars needed to line up for us to end up ninth at this point in time. But again, I'm not going to sit here and say that after 22 games, a team that is ninth doesn't deserve to be ninth. We do. We have been better than the teams who are below us, and that's proved in the fact that we are yet to lose to a team who are below us in the league all season. And currently, the teams above us, aside from West Brom, we've only beaten West Brom. Currently, we are exactly where we are, and yeah, it's great and it's wonderful. And when we get to March, and let's say, for argument's sake, if we are still in a similar position with the same points difference to the top 6, yeah, then absolutely I'll jump on board with a playoff push and all the rest of it. But for now, I'm very much a realist in terms of what's coming up and all the rest of it.
Okay, that's 2 people with their feet on the ground. Andrew, can we swing you that this is going to be an even better season than everyone thought for Wednesday?
You don't need to swing me. What did I say at the start of the season? What did I say? I said we're going to be challenging for a top 6 place. People don't listen to me. We would be in the top 6 right now if we hadn't been robbed in matches against Luton and QPR. Points that were taken from us in those 2 games should never been lost in those games. And also, if we'd have taken advantage of our dominance in the games against Swansea and Cardiff at home. But at the end of the day, we have every chance. Danny Rowe is on a mission there, and he's going to try and get Chancery to get his money in his pocket, to get the necessary players to give us every chance of trying for this top 6 place. We've got to believe. We've got the tools to do it, and they'll be strengthened when new players come into play. The run is on. Look at the run at the moment. As I said before the start of December, I said we aim for 2 points a game. That's the top 6 slot, and that's exactly what we've been getting. We've actually taken 13 points from our last 6 games, which is more than 2 points a game, and we have every chance of taking at least 5 points for the next 3 games to complete the 18 points required from 9 games, which is the target set. Every chance.
Let's have a look at the Stoke game, shall we? Then some comments for that. Most of them about 2 players in particular. We'll get on to the goalkeeper in a second. But Glyn, Adam says, I don't mean to alarm anyone, but Max Lowe is better than Maldini. Yeah, was he in that one game?
He's one of them players that's definitely improved, hasn't he? And when he first came, he was very nervous. He was making a few kind of schoolboy errors, if you like. But listen, he's come on leaps and bounds. He's absolutely for that shirt at the back. For me, is a permanent starter, is doing really, really, really well. And to say he came from the other side, and his performance against the Blades, as we mentioned on Blades Week, to take that pressure and play like he did, is class. He's doing very, very, very well. What I really hope is that when he does actually make a mistake, and it will happen, because it does happen, which we saw this week with Deschamps Bernard, that players don't jump on his back, and we're like we just mentioned, we're scratching at the playoff places. If we lose, what I don't hope is that fans then jump on the players' back, and fall negative. That's we seem to fall foul to that. The fan base of Sheffield Wednesday, unfortunately, something goes wrong and then everything's negative. It's not like that. Season doesn't end in December for me.
Okay. The atmosphere sounded a bit better, Glyn, was it, at Hillsborough on Saturday?
It was, yeah. I mean, it wasn't great. I'm not going to lie, especially the first half. But and I did hear a few boos at half time, but I think that was more towards the referee than the players. But it was a bit better. James Beadle commented on the atmosphere, saying it was kind of how it was when he first joined the club. But it was better than it has been. I'm not going to lie. Was that because we were 2-0 up? Who knows? But there was a certain vibe. Obviously, the Danny Role stay in effect, or staying for the time being effect at least. Obviously we were singing his name from even before kickoff. So the positivity is there. We just got to continue.
Okay. Cheers, Glenn. Matt, on to Beadle then. I liked this one because it ties in our first point as well. The kind of win that says we're going places. Beadle was a class above. Similar ones here. What an unbelievable second half that was. Beadle, Lowe and I offer superb. Edison wears James Beadle pyjamas. And Beadle for Player of the Month award, or we riot. And there was tons, whole pages and pages of similar praise for your number one goalkeeper. We've said it before on here, but we'll say it again. Yeah, he's quite good, isn't he?
I mean, I spoke obviously during last season of when James Beadle came in, him equaling a modern day sort of like Sheffield Wednesday. It has got kind of like a lot of historic run with the club in Cameron Dawson, and what he did. I'd pause before saying legend, because I don't think he is in the parlance of like a modern day Sheffield Wednesday goalkeeper, but I do think he was a quality goalkeeper in League One. James Beadle came in, and inside of 6 games, he'd already equalled his clean sheet record. That spoke enough volumes for you. We then saw towards the back end of the season, James Beadle making save after save to keep us in games. And then the start of this season, there was some criticism from some quarters surrounding James Beadle and some of his performances. I sat on here and said, he's got a makeshift defence in front of him and defenders flying into things and doing things at kind of like difficult and stupid points that's making his life harder, and that those weren't on him. He spoke about it after the game on Saturday in terms of he went away at the latest international break with the England camp, and he's come back absolutely flying. Like, some of the saves that he has made, Mark, have been outrageous. The one on Saturday was only topped by the one at a midweek performance in Swansea, where I still have watched it back, 50, 60 times, and I've still got no idea how he's made the saves. On Saturday, I think the save from Cannon is outrageous, to then claw it away. The penalty save kind of like just caps a great display. I think the thing for me that has impressed me most about him, his maturity, his attitude is way beyond his age. It's his self-confidence. It's the fact that he makes a mistake, and he made mistakes last year when he came in. I'm thinking in particular at Leicester, at Norwich, at home, and he learned from them really quickly, and you don't see the same things happening over and over again, which is the mark of a really, really good goalkeeper. The way he speaks, the way he talks about the club, everything about him screams first division footballer somewhere. Now, whether that will be with Brighton, because obviously I know that they're very deep at goalkeeping ranks, I'm not entirely sure. I will argue until I'm blue in the face, I think he's the best goalkeeper in the league. I know our Steel City neighbours will make an argument for Michael Cooper because of obviously his outstanding record at Bramall Lane, which is fair enough. I just think that he is light years ahead of any other goalkeeper I've seen this year. And we watch him, obviously, week in, week out. He's just a cut above. And we've had some good goalkeepers in the past at Hillsborough, including more recent times. He's just a cut above.
Yeah, Matt, you should have had more faith in him last week when you said that we're going to concede a goal against Stoke. And I said, well, I wasn't here last week, but I said to you, we're not going to concede goals at home every week. And it didn't happen this week. Thanks to him.
One more for you, Andrew, if that's okay. Huge 3 points, great resilience, well done. Praise to Valerie, who's took some pelters recently, but he played a part in both goals. How impressed were you with his performance?
Yeah, he's obviously improved. I wouldn't just highlight one player in this game, because at the end of the day, thanks to Bernard's rush of blood to the head and being sent off, we were down to 10 men for over half and 10 minutes at the end of the first half. I can't remember the last time Wednesday were down to 10 men for the whole of the second half and came back and won a game, or managed to win a game. When it happened, I said straight away to the Wednesday group, I'll take a 0-0 draw right now. So to get the goals, to work the goals where they did, was absolute bonus. And you got to hats off to all 10 players on that park, and also the subs who came on, of course. Everyone, pulled together. Valerie, yes. Bannon was brilliant. Windass, he worked his socks off. Patterson came on and put himself about, always makes a difference. Every name, you can highlight everybody there who went out there and did the job for us, because they wanted that game. They wanted to win it. Stoke wanted to win it too. We were all up against a crazy referee who was upsetting both sides, with some of his crazy decisions. We had a little Bannon-Donna moment. We called it Bannon-Donna, where we wondered, did he handle it or didn't he, when the ball was crossed over and he dived across for it. Barry pointed to his chest, saying the ball hit him there. Some dubious people would say, well, his hand was out, maybe it hit his hand. I'm not going to say definitely one way or the other, but at the end of the day, great performance to the whole players, the whole team.
All right, thank you. Our Stoke fans, Glyn, said yes, the referee was bad for both sides, but by far more so for them than he was for you.
Yeah. Really? I thought he had one of their shirts on underneath his referee top, to be honest. But...
Right, let's go to our last debate then. This week it's the halfway point of the season. That means Sheffield Wednesday fans have now seen every single team, or nearly every single team up to this point. So we're asking you who's the best and who's the worst that you've played against so far this season. Not so much a prediction of who's going up and who's going down, but who's the best that you've played against. Matt, could you take the one for the best team you played against by far, the one you thought, wow?
Sunderland. Blew us away. Absolutely blew us away. I can't bring myself to say Leeds. Leeds were very impressive. That's as far as I'll go with that. But Sunderland were hands down the best team I've seen in this league. Incredibly exciting time to be a Sunderland fan.
Good stuff. Andrew, who's the worst side you played against?
Well, they caught us at the wrong moment, I'm afraid. So the worst team has to be the first game of the season. This is Sunderland, a 4-0 thrashing there, a 4-0 thrashing over Plymouth. Plymouth was certainly the worst team because of the fact that we played so well against them first game. So they have to be the worst at the moment. I'm not necessarily saying they're going to finish bottom. They're obviously in a bit of a rut at the moment, and Rooney's obviously panicking there. But I would say them at the moment.
Glenn, do you agree with both of those?
Yeah, I think Plymouth probably made us look better than we were at that particular time. New manager syndrome hadn't kicked in at it. But 100% behind Matt Sunderland. They were Premier League quality when they came to Hillsborough.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you all very, very much. It only leaves us now to wish all three of you a very Merry Christmas with you and your families this week, and also to say thank you to you. It's so hard to make any football content these days. It's incredibly hard to make Sheffield Wednesday content when you've got some great content makers like Punk Chef and so on. So we're delighted that we can string along on the coattails of some of the great podcasts that go out there. Thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel over the last, every 4 months? It feels longer. I'm going to start to understand what a Wednesday feels. Being a Wednesday fan feels like now. we wish all of you a really happy and genuine Merry Christmas. We'll see you in the new year. Next week, we're reviewing 2024. What's the best goal, best player? And these guys will hand out some awards. Join us for that. Otherwise, have a very Merry Christmas.
Happy Christmas to you as well, and all of you.
See you next week.